I'm actually going to take this one pretty personally because I did 50 hours of testimony before the Senate Intelligence Committee, the House Intelligence Committee, the House Judiciary Committee, about nonsense. Some of the most powerful people in government, Adam Schiff, the chairman of the Intelligence Committee, said publicly numerous times that I had committed treason. Treason. Just so we understand, treason is a crime punishable by death. For me these days, that's like, minor details. It's like a Tuesday. Just another day.
Hey everybody, Maz Jobrani here. You just saw Don Jr. upset because the Hunter Biden laptop story is not getting the attention it should be getting, did not get the attention it should be getting, and all conservatives are up in arms because with all the other stuff that's going on in the world, Hunter Biden's laptop is the most important thing. What we call with that, we call it deflection, we call it gaslighting, we call it trying to get your attention over here, while his father dines with Nazis, while his father tries to get away with trying to overthrow the government January 6th, while his company has been convicted of tax fraud, a lot of stuff going on in the Trump family, but Don Jr. wants you to focus on Hunter Biden's laptop. Because that's the real story. Dude, your father tried to end democracy. Your father said, let's get rid of the Constitution. You're involved with this administration. Your whole family is a bunch of grifters. Your sister, your brother-in-law, all of you guys would not be anywhere without your criminal father. And you're all covering for him. So stop it.
They just get to hide under the cloak of, we're doing journalism. We won't cover the biggest story. We won't cover that 30 or 50 of the biggest intelligence people in the world all signed on to a letter like, this is obviously Russian disinformation, when it clearly wasn't. When our director of national intelligence, came out and said, John Ratcliffe literally came out and said, there's nothing here that says this would be Russian disinformation. Doesn't matter. We're here to deliver a message and we're going to get what we want out there. And when we find out and get caught, doesn't matter because we got what we wanted. Therefore, it's old news.
There you go. Don Jr. is upset about a lot of things. More of the Hunter Biden story. Listen, someone should take away his camera. The worst thing that's happened to this guy is they gave him a phone with a camera and he can just ramble, total nonsensical rambling. You know how when somebody drinks, you take away their keys? They should just take Don's camera away and get him to get some writers with research and maybe then put him in front of a camera. But in general, they shouldn't put him in front of a camera because he looks horrible and he's just all over the place. And his whole complaint about the Hunter Biden story, he's saying that members of the intelligence community had said that the Hunter Biden laptop story was Russian disinformation. Now, the Hunter Biden laptop might have some interesting information in there, but the level of importance that the Republicans want to give the Hunter Biden laptop is a lot more than it deserves. Because the truth is, these guys tried to, first of all, his own father, Don Jr.'s father, tried to get Vladimir Zelensky to investigate Biden, to investigate his opponent, as we all remember, the first impeachment, that's what it was about, tried to get the Ukrainians to investigate Biden. He was going to hold back money, military money from the Ukrainians to get them to investigate his opposition. And then when that didn't happen, then they brought out the Hunter Biden laptop. They're going, the laptop is going to reveal something huge. Meanwhile, Don Jr., Eric, Ivanka, the whole family is a bunch of grifters.
Now we want to get to this breaking news, a CNN exclusive 2 days after the 2020 presidential election. As votes were still being tallied, CNN is learning that Donald Trump's oldest son texted then White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows some ideas for overturning the election.
Here's my problem with this story. We can't start giving Donald Trump credit for coming up with ideas. Come on, this is the cokehead. Okay, I don't know that he does cocaine, but I will tell you that long ago, I was an addict, I did cocaine, and he sure looks like someone who does cocaine, or maybe his gums are really tasty and he likes chewing them. Donald Trump Jr., the plot, no. Ivanka Trump, yeah, I'd believe that. If you said Ivanka Trump was involved, Ivanka Trump was sending texts right after the election about how to overthrow the election results, absolutely I could buy that. Donald Trump Jr. is somewhere sitting in a bunker with a bunch of guns, tweeting out videos, dreaming of being a Proud Boy. in on the plan, let me tell you something. He's too dumb to come up with a plan, and they're too smart to trust him with the plan. Sorry, I ain't buying it.
I'll just give you an example of some of the things that Donald Trump Jr. suggested that they should pursue, creating an alternate slate of fake electors. He also talked about pushing the vote back to the state legislatures. We also know this was a legal theory that Trump and his allies were attempting to pursue. And he also talked about forcing a scenario where neither candidate had enough electoral votes to win, leaving it to the House to vote by state delegation to elect a president.
So they're trying to claim, and forgive me, this is funny, but they're trying to claim that any legal strategies, any operative strategies came from Donald Trump Jr., like using fake electors. If they had fake electors, they wouldn't tell Donald Trump Jr. because he would brag about it to a date, okay, pushing back the vote to state legislators. Donald Trump Jr. doesn't understand the difference between federal government and state governments. No. Saying that there weren't enough electoral votes for either candidate to win, and then it would be up to the House of Representatives, which at the time was run by the Republicans, the theory being that, stop it. You think he understands how that works? You think, listen, there are people who are brilliant who don't understand the Electoral College or why we still have an Electoral College. You think Donald Trump Jr. is going to come up with a plan to manipulate the electoral votes? Really? No, stop it. Donald Trump Jr. was not, he sent the text. Yeah, he sent the text, but that's about it. He didn't come up with this. This wasn't his idea.
Now, it's important to point out, Donald Trump Jr.'s lawyer has told us that he believes that this was just an idea that Donald Trump Jr. was passing along to Mark Meadows, that he isn't actually the original author of this text, but is still significant, Victor and Allison, given everything we know about the Trump campaign, that he was passing this information along to the White House Chief of Staff just 2 days after the election and before all the votes were tallied.
You know why I believe he only passed along the idea, didn't come up with the idea? Because that's what his lawyer said. His lawyer said that he only passed along the text or did not come up with the text. Exactly. Listen, when your lawyer tells us you're too dumb to have come up with it, we got to believe that. It's like Tucker Carlson, right? What did Tucker Carlson's lawyer say? That a reasonable person would not believe Tucker Carlson. It's the only truth to come out of it. Their lawyers tell the truth. And Donald Trump Jr.'s lawyer told the truth when he said, yeah, he may have passed it along, but he didn't come up with it. I don't even think he was supposed to pass it along. See, that's the thing. I think somehow he got the text and they said, don't tell anyone. And he was like, Meadows, hey, look what I'm not supposed to tell anyone. Read this text. And now Meadows is like, oh, great. Now this is in my phone. Now this is in my records.